Well, blowouts are a huge problem here in Arizona. I mean, you can't drive down a valley freeway and not see shredded tires somewhere on the roadway. And with summer quickly approaching, tire failure is about to get worse. Driving down the road, and it can happen at any moment.
Sounded like a gunshot.
It wasn't a gunshot, but Paul Snyder says it could have been as deadly as one. He's talking about his RV tire that recently had a blowout, and like most blowouts, Paul says there was little to no warning.
Rolling down the road about 65 and boom.
He's not alone either. Take a drive down any Arizona freeway and you'll find a common sight: shredded tires. They're the telltale sign that someone suffered a blowout. Sandra Munoz says she'll never forget her blowout along Interstate 10. While driving, her tire basically came apart, causing her to almost lose control.
I got scared. I thought, I was going to die. I mean, so much that I called my dad.
And people do die. In fact, in 2017, there were 661 vehicle crashes where tires were to blame. And out of that number, 15 people lost their lives. One of those fatal crashes was this one in Gilbert. A woman lost control of her vehicle on the Loop 202 when her tire blew out, causing her to crash.
Tires have birth dates. Most people don't realize that.
Howard Fleischman owns Community Tire Pros and Auto Repair here in the Valley. He's been in the business for 50 years and says the upcoming summer months will only make tire failures worse. So this is 135 degrees. That's the asphalt.
That's the asphalt.
On this day, he showed us how asphalt can really heat up. And if your tires are not up to par, the intense heat could cause deteriorating tires to come apart. It happens all the time.
People take tires for granted, and there's three natural enemies for a tire: heat, neglect, and age.
We've talked about heat already, so what about neglect? Now, Howard says this is a perfect example of how consumers don't pay attention to their tires. This consumer here came in for a simple oil change, said nothing at all about his tires, but when you look at them, they are shot. There's no tread left at all. Even with good tread life, you should routinely check your tire's air pressure. Look on the inside of your driver's door jamb for the proper inflation recommended for your car. And finally, there's age. Howard says any tire 6 years or older is considered expired and is a blowout waiting to happen. You can tell just how old your tires are by looking for the DOT number on the side and then look at the last four numbers. The first two numbers represent the week the tire was made. The last two numbers represent the year.
It was manufactured the 12th week of 2019.
So the bottom line, before you put your vehicle, your RV, or your boat trailer on Arizona's roads this summer, remember your tires.
Check your tires, check them regularly. Make sure you got your spare. Nothing worse than being stuck on the side of the road.
And here's another big offender. We're talking boat trailers and RV trailers. With summertime here, a lot of people are going to be in a hurry to rush out to the lake or maybe get a camp spot. The last thing on their mind is checking the tires on that trailer. It should be the first thing. I'm Gary Harper, 3 on your side. Warren Trent now joins me here in the studio, and he's another one of my producers. And Warren, you have done a lot of full-blown investigations this year into the solar industry.
Absolutely. Well, Gary, we talked a lot about solar energy and how homeowners were told, well, they would save lots of money, but those savings never materialized. However, through your side, well, we were able to help them out in a very big way.
For many Valley homeowners, going solar seemed to make sense when it came to saving money on their utility bills. However, their promised savings never happened. In fact, after going solar, some homeowners complained to 3 on your side that their bills actually went up.
We used 20% less energy last year, and we managed to pay almost $1,000 more than we would have if we'd never gone solar in the first place.
Rachel Woolley was an upset homeowner that we spoke to in 2018. After 3 on your side exposed her high utility bills after going solar, the solar company released her from her 20-year lease agreement, and her solar panels were taken down. You don't have to pay those monthly payments for 20 years.
Nope.
And that comes to around $30,000.
It sure does.
So we just saved you 30 grand.
You sure did. And yes, and a whole lot of anxieties.
Rachel wasn't the only homeowner that 3 on your side helped with solar problems.
It's been very overwhelming, stressful. They lied. They took advantage of my husband and I. He knew how to play us. He lied to us. I took him in the sincerity of his word.
Esther and Fred Chavez also felt duped after going solar. They were told that they would see a huge savings by going solar, but their bills actually skyrocketed. The Avondale couple contacted 3 on Your Side, and we were able to get them released from their 20-year lease, saving them around $23,000. Their solar panels were also taken down.
I'm glad they're gone. Thank you, Channel 3.
And finally, 3 on Your Side helped out this Whitman couple after they signed up for solar. Even with their windows covered in aluminum foil to completely block out the sun's intense heat, their electric bill was higher after going solar.
I've been taken advantage of, and so far nothing's been done about it. I've complained and complained and complained to them. They don't care. But after 3 on Your Side got involved, guess what? The solar company agreed to remove more than 30 solar panels and also release the husk from their 20-year lease, saving them from having to pay $31,000. You guys, what you do for the consumer is awesome. It's awesome. This is so great. And if I didn't make the call and get to speak to Warren Trent, this wouldn't be happening. And I know it.
And if you're keeping track, when it comes to all 3 homeowners, 3 on Your Side saved them a total of nearly $84,000 in lease payments. She never ordered them.
I installed a brand new sink. I installed a new faucet.
When it comes to home improvement projects, both inside and outside her home, Kendra Sollers certainly has an eye for detail.
I liked to take things apart and build things.
As a matter of fact, she's been recognized by the city of Tempe for helping to beautify and improve her neighborhood. So when it came time to give her kitchen a facelift, she wanted 21 new cabinet doors along with hinges to be installed. So she went online and found an East Coast company that specialized in just that.
So it kind of narrowed it down just to Cabinet Door World, and everything seemed okay.
Cabinet Door World is based in North Carolina, and according to its website, it makes cabinets, drawers, and everything in between and ships across the nation. Kendra says she liked what the company had to tell her, so after measuring out her cabinets, Kendra ordered 21 cabinet doors and paid the full amount up front.
It was like $1,562.05.
But weeks later, when the cabinet doors arrived, Kendra was not happy with what she received.
I panicked. I contacted the company and I said, I can't use any of these.
The cabinet doors were cracking, had separating seams, and were in horrible condition.
Clearly, it's not well constructed.
Kendra complained, and Cabinet Door World actually shipped her 21 replacement doors. But guess what? They too were in bad shape and not usable at all.
Probably one of the most frustrating things I've dealt with.
3 on Your Side got involved, and we discovered Kendra is not the only one complaining about Cabinet Door World. In fact, the company has logged nearly 70 complaints and has an F rating with the Better Business Bureau. And to make matters worse, the BBB named Cabinet Door World one of the 5 worst-rated Charlotte area businesses of 2017, citing delayed shipments and materials that were badly damaged as the reason for the poor rating. 3 on Your Side also discovered consumers in other states, including Rhode Island, Florida, Michigan, Texas, and California, and also filed complaints with the North Carolina Attorney General's office. 3 on Your Side wanted to know if Cabinet Door World was interested in resolving Kendra's issue, and we wanted to know what they had to say about all those other complaints filed against them. While they failed to address those complaints with us, they did agree to issue a full refund to Kendra.
I just need my money back because I know that they can't deliver the product that they advertise.
This Valley family's new home came with a disgusting surprise they thought had been handled.
Your dad was disgusting.
Now, can 3 on Your Side rid them of the infestation and pricey repair bill? Thursday at 9 only on 3 TV.
I feel very relieved.
Janet Allen finally has her $800 back, and she says she couldn't be happier.
The ordeal is over.
The refund came in the form of 2 Western Union money orders, which were mailed to her by this guy, Tyler Hall. Hall owns a company called TNA's Mobile Welding, also known as TNA's Welding Fabrication and Repair. In a previous 3 on Your Side report, Janet explained how she wanted a security gate installed in her home's front entry and gave Tyler Hall $800 $800, half of the total cost to get that gate started.
I wanted a gate that would open to give me extra security so as I could use my forecourt without worrying about anybody coming any further.
Jenna says she hired Tyler Hall, who also goes by Thomas, way back in October. But since then, Jenna says he and his company have not come through with that gate.
Well, first of all, he said that he was too busy, but he's got it on his roster, his plans, and it was one excuse after the other. Then he said he had ill health.
That triggered numerous emails where Hall promised in writing to return Janet's $800, but he just never did. And the more Janet asked for her money back, the more she says his emails to her turned vile. In fact, some of the emails are so vulgar we can't read them to you.
Well, it's too crude to actually mention on camera.
3 on Your Side contacted Hall, but he declined several times to talk to us on camera. We even went to an address that he has listed with the Arizona Corporation Commission, but we were told he doesn't live there. Hello, I was looking for Tom Hall.
Not the wrong address.
However, Tyler Hall did email 3 on Your Side saying, quote, "We are all human and she rubbed us completely the wrong way." Hall went on to say that he would be mailing out Janet's $800 refund, and he did. Janet says she can't believe it. She's been asking for her money back for months now, and with the help of 3 on Your Side, she finally has her money.
Oh, it's been wonderful. You've been in contact with me all the time, keeping me updated and telling me the progress that you hopefully were going to make, and bingo, it happened.
Stacy Champion has been an APS customer for years, but that doesn't necessarily mean she likes the power company. In fact, she's spearheading a battle against APS.
I have an opportunity to potentially help thousands of people, and so it's the right thing to do, so therefore I'm going for it.
Stacy is attempting to unravel a rate hike implemented by APS back in August. That hike affects more than 1 million customers. When APS pushed the increase through, it said the typical monthly residential bill would be increasing 4.5%, or about $6 a month. However, Stacy says that's just not true.
It's been double what they said that rate increase would be.
Frustrated, this community activist started a petition 3 months ago and already has nearly 3,000 signatures. The petition is to persuade the Arizona Corporation Commission, which approved the rate hike, to revisit the issue.
I have been using less energy this year versus last year, especially less on-peak energy this year versus last year, but yet my charge for that energy that I'm using has gone up.
Other APS customers have similar complaints and want something done. In paperwork filed with the Corporation Commission, some people claim they've seen spikes in their APS bills as high as 32%. Some say 40%, and some say even 62%.
Let me just say for the record, I've never had a proceeding like this.
Proceedings in front of an administrative law judge have taken place with the lawyers representing Stacy, as well as APS, which of course is against having another hearing.
We're well aware of Ms. Champion's petition and some of the concerns expressed by the customers.
Barbara Lockwood is Vice President of Regulation for APS. She acknowledges the utility company has donated money to the political campaigns for the Corporation Commission. However, with that said, she maintains there's no conflict of interest.
Boyd Dunn, Bob Burns, Andy Tobin, Arizona's Sustainable Solar Team.
We've looked at a whole host of things with respect to this rate adjustment that happened last year, and to date we've found no issues.
The administrative law judge in this case is expected to make a recommendation about whether another hearing is warranted. In the meantime, Stacy Champion says she'll keep fighting.
I have people calling me and thanking me and telling me how much this is impacting their lives. Like, that is worth it.
Once again, if the Arizona Corporation Commission decides to have another hearing to discuss this recent rate hike, I'll let you know in a follow-up report. I'm Gary Harper, 3 on Your Side.